We lost good old Sam Bell.
Spoiler alerts.
Except we didn't.
Except we did? Except we didn't. Except we did.
Except we didn't. Except we did.
Now for our feature presentation.
Fuck, now it's gonna be fucked up. Hello and welcome back to another episode of How About This Movie. We are doing the 2009 film Moon. This will be the final film in our Sundance movie series. We did 3. It's our worst series so far. Good job, us. If you don't know what Sundance is, make sure to watch the rest of the videos in the trilogy we did Reservoir Dogs and American Psycho, 2 really fun episodes for us. So definitely go check those out, and we'll tell you what Sundance is at the beginning of those episodes, so shouldn't be too lost.
In space!
Shout out for Moon because of a social media glitch. I can't tell who commented first. So good job, Chase, and good job, Abel. You both have won my affection for the day. But it's almost over, so sorry. Tyson.
Yeah.
Who's in this movie?
Sam Rockwell is 90% of the movie.
Yeah.
And then Kevin Spacey's voice is like the other 10%.
Okay. What would people have seen those 2 gentlemen in?
Well,
Anything
Sam
good?
Rockwell is probably most famous for like 7 Psychopaths and Hitchhiker's Guide. And Kevin Spacey, I mean, we've already covered at least one Kevin Spacey movie, which is 7, and he was also in Usual Suspects and American Beauty.
So you should definitely know who Kevin Spacey is.
Yeah.
Sam Rockwell also in Green Mile, if I remember correctly. I think he's the really crazy guy.
I think he was.
I think.
Maybe.
Either way.
Yeah, either way.
I really like Sam Rockwell.
Even if you're wrong, the whole world's not going to know.
No, only like 40 or so people will know. So that's cool.
Yeah. Directed by Duncan Jones. I don't know what the fuck else he did. I didn't look that up like an idiot.
He does a lot of other independent stuff, but nothing that I can think of off the top of my head because he came up while I was doing my research.
Mm-hmm.
So Moon is about Sam Bell. He works for a company called Lunar Industries. Something like that. He is an astronaut farming helium-3 on the far side of the moon. Sam Bell is on the moon on a 3-year contract, collecting and sending the helium-3 canisters. He runs the whole operation. It's just him. Kevin Spacey's voice as was Gertie's probably an AI on the station.
A helper robot.
And then a bunch of unmanned mining trucks. I don't exactly know what they are, but they're big truck type things.
They look like those fucking combines that just fucking...
Yeah, they look a lot like
and wheat and
like
shit
combines.
Like that.
Yeah. So from that, it sounds boring, but it's not.
Yeah, I mean...
It's a really good movie.
Sam Rockwell's a top-notch actor.
He's a fantastic actor. That's true.
Attack of the Clones.
When you have the beginning of what was that movie when they're in Antarctica?
Yep.
And The Thing. So it's similar to The Thing, where you're out, like, kind of desolate. Emergency help is not anywhere near. So when things
months away,
things can go awry, especially when dealing with big equipment, which is scary. I guess you have to have some sort of backup plan. Mm-hmm. I mean, it took them 14 hours to have a rescue team come to the base.
That's when the countdown started.
Yeah.
Was at 14 hours. But it wasn't 14 hours. It was a couple of weeks or a few days.
So
it was like a day, something like that.
Yeah.
If you're a big company and you only have one person very, very far away.
Yeah, you definitely can't afford to shut down for weeks or a few days or whatever.
Yeah. Also, Sam Bell in the movie says, it'd be way too expensive to train somebody new every few years to just come up here. It's cheaper to just pack away a couple of spares.
Yep. So, I guess something he should have seen coming.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Sam's a clone, guys.
Yep.
He's a clone.
One of many.
But we're not sure which one of many. So while Sam is out collecting from one of the harvesters, he has an accident, and is presumed dead. So they wake the second clone, and they go into the protocol for the second clone, or for the new clone, which is a lockdown protocol and all that kind of stuff, until they retrieve the old clone. Is how I perceived that.
Yeah.
And new clone Sam decided to break that protocol, and found old clone Sam, and that's how they unraveled the whole clone conspiracy. The clone-spiracy, if you will. Hashtag clone-spiracy 2019, 2009. You have to put both years.
Yep. Clone-spiracy.
Um,
But really, it's only the two that crack the clone-spiracy, and they're like, fuck this shit, and they jump ship, leaving the rest of the clones to live out their fate as per usual.
well, that's their problem.
Well, the one that gets into the fucking delivery pod at the end of the movie, you might not remember this, but there was like a lot of audio going on in the background. It was like news headlines and shit like that, like newscasters talking.
I don't remember them talking about he's
Yeah.
either a liar or an immigrant or whatever.
Yeah, he was trying to break the story. He was trying to say, hey, they're doing this up there. And just nobody cared.
Yeah.
So.
I don't think I would care.
Yeah, I'd be like, they're making clowns.
It's a clone. The person consented to that. He's not being affected, and these clones are doing their thing. Like, they're none the wiser until they die. I don't think I'd care. But maybe I'm immoral. Or I'm a bastard. Who knows?
I would be offended.
I would not.
But if you think about
Unless it was a clone of you.
these clones feel like at the end of their 3 years, they're going to be able to go home to a wife and a child that they don't have.
Well,
they're living a life of
but
lies.
They die happy. So.
It's definitely not the coolest thing for a company to do, but
yeah, it's still like towing the ethical line.
Yeah. Like,
much like Blade Runner,
Yeah.
I feel like the androids and the clones like are being treated unfairly, and they just want their fair shake at life.
yeah.
And
The
they're not
difference-
getting it.
Yeah, the difference. Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
And say, go ahead and say yours, because we might be saying the same thing.
That's what I think too. The difference to me is I feel like the androids know, and I could be misremembering because I didn't do a great job with Blade Runner.
Yeah,
I
no,
fell asleep,
that's-
but the
yeah.
androids know that they're getting shafted.
They're still being used for a company
No, you're-
without a fair shake.
You're definitely not wrong. I'm just saying I don't know that I would be that upset about it because they're not real. It's like building a robot that you know is going to break.
Well, they're cloning sheep and cows. You're saying they're not real sheep or cows?
Not really. So how I'm looking at this is once something is infinitely renewable, its value decreases.
So you're not thinking of it as an ethics standpoint.
Well, I'm looking at it ethically, but the value of human life from an ethical standpoint, the value of a human life goes down. So I'm not as disgusted by the fact that they're killing clones, because Sam is fine. He's the real person, and they can just make more clones. These clones hold no value.
But they're still real people. Just like the clone sheep are real sheep. They have sheep emotions.
And
They do sheep things.
If the sheep
They just have the same genetic makeup as another sheep.
And if the sheep was being beaten up by a group that was upset about clone sheep, I would intervene. But if that sheep was led to slaughter and treated the same way all other sheep are,
But people aren't led to slaughter. So even they're slaughtering actual people up there, you don't care?
I'm not saying I don't care. I'm just saying I'm not that affected by it. It's
wouldn't-
not an actual person. It's a
real person,
He is-
though.
the important thing to remember is that the real person, Sam Bell, agreed to this, was compensated handsomely, never has to work again, and got home to be with his family, and he gets to live a happy ending that he deserves. Yeah, it sucks that these clones are doing that. It's repugnant and repulsive and gross that a company would do that. I'm just not that upset about it.
It's a moral gray area.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's definitely not the coolest thing to do. It's too dangerous to have someone up there. It's too expensive to have someone up there, and the overall effect on worldwide human life is far more important than some clones dying, generally clueless, every 3 years.
No, don't be killing clones. Clones are real people too.
Clones are people too.
Would you rather clone somebody almost indefinitely, or would you rather send new people up there and still have the same risks, either to clone or to not clone people?
I wouldn't want to be just killing people every 3 years.
Well, I mean, they don't.
I want to pay people to do a job.
That might just be like a defect in the cloning process that they can't live farther than 3 years. They deteriorate.
Because if it is...
But we don't know that for sure. So, assuming that they're real people...
Yeah, we don't know a lot about the process.
They're
they
still
don't go into
human
a huge
being.
amount of detail. Now, see, I agree with that. I agree they're still human. Like, I'm agreeing with both of you.
Yeah. You're a stupid human.
I would rather
I wish you would die every 3 years.
manufacture humans to do a job that requires human, intellect and dexterity and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Rather than train new people to go up there every few years and have the same risks.
Yeah, what's worse?
I mean, actually, they'd have more risk because they'd have to travel there and travel back.
Yeah.
Whereas with the clones, you could just make a bunch, store them up there, and then you have a supply of workers at the ready. Yeah, it's still shitty what they do to them.
Yeah,
but it's less shitty than sending new humans up, having them do the same thing, then sending them back down, running the risk of any number of complications.
That's a great way to put it.
I think that killing a clone is not better than putting somebody at risk for traveling.
You know what the risk is, right?
Travel. This is space
death.
travel.
Yeah, but traveling is a possible death versus clone killing is definite death.
That is a ridiculous standpoint. I think we have to move on.
2 hours later.
It's not a good situation either way.
Alright, hashtag fuck clones might mean something else.
I'm going to move on to this plot hole I found. And I'm just going to
Okay.
hope that Carly does a good job cleaning this up.
Plot hole?
Yeah. So when they showed the movie to NASA asked why the H3 wasn't being harvested on the near side of the moon, where it's more abundant. So that's kind of like a plot hole.
Yeah.
But their response was they didn't want to affect the wildlife, which I thought was I thought that was funny.
That's fucking hilarious.
So it's just a fuck you kind of answer?
Just like smarmy, like Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
What do you tigers dream of? No, what was the budget to this movie?
Oh, the budget of this movie was estimated at about $5 million. Wow. Grossed domestically about $5 million. Worldwide, it grossed over $9 million. Actually, almost $10 million. So made its money back quite a bit. Opening weekend, it only made $136,000.
Oh, it didn't do too well. Opening weekend.
Opening weekend wasn't too good.
This isn't a movie with a large financial draw.
No.
I would think.
I had never heard of it until we started making this list.
Yeah, until you were talking about it when we made the list.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll talk more later. I was going to go about how good it is, but I mean, it is good. But we'll talk about that when we get there.
It ranks 161 in 2009 and number 56 of rated R movies of 2009.
So
this is rated R?
Yeah. There was some fucks and some shits and some bloods.
Okay.
So this was our worst performing for their year. Worst performing of our Sundance films. At, what'd you say, 161?
161.
Yeah. American Psycho, 117. Reservoir Dogs, 136.
Yeah.
So
it did double its budget
yes.
worldwide, which is pretty good.
Yeah. So it did make enough money to, kind of stand on its own. And I think all three of these were probably better than whatever the highest grossing movie of their respective years are. So,
yeah.
Sometimes that happens.
Yeah, well, these are movies.
Indie movies, yeah. That's generally going to happen.
Yeah.
Carly.
Yes.
What was your favorite scene in this movie?
My favorite scene of this movie is, I think, when the two clones are just, like, trying to get used to the other person being there, and it's so awkward. Like, I need my slippers. And I was like, no, my slippers.
I'm using them.
It's just, like, so awkward, and, like, they just don't know how to handle what is going on, and they haven't really, like, come to terms with it yet.
Yeah.
It's not how one would expect to deal with the situation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of like an awkward humor type scenario.
Mm-hmm. Tyson, what was your favorite scene in this movie?
Probably when the 3-year Sam was waking up from being brought by the new clone Sam. He's like, "Oh, is there somebody in this room, Gertie?" You know, that scene was filled with like a lot of like subtle tension. Like what the hell's gonna happen? Is seeing yourself. Sleep, yeah.
Well, also it's really kind of like a what the hell is going on, because leading up to the crash, Sam is hallucinating, and now there's two Sams, because at this point we don't know what the fuck is happening. Yeah. So it's like, wait, what are we seeing that's real and not real? It ends up all being real. Yeah. But I think that whole sequence is really like mind bending. Like, what am I watching right now?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so scores right now. I'm just kidding. My favorite scene, once Sam kind of starts to deteriorate a little bit, and he starts like, he's kind of looping. He's talking about like when he's making like that town he's building, and he's talking about like with such pride making everything, but then he's like, but I don't remember making all of it. Just like that kind of realization. And then also after they've started to bond, and he's beating the shit out of him at ping pong, and he's teaching him how to continue building the city and all that. I thought that was really cool too.
Yeah.
Little father-son time between those two.
A little me time.
Yeah, I enjoy some me time.
So, I have a question. Going back to like plot holes.
Okay.
There are the towers on the moon blocking signals for conversation, correct? So, when you go out of the range, you can make the phone calls. And when Sam sets up one of the big driller things to run into it, they can finally make communication on the base. How was Gertie having an actual conversation in the middle of that?
I think the company can switch on and off the jammers whenever they want to.
Yeah.
Probably.
Or Gertie has an ability to do that.
Yeah, Gertie has the ability
he can
to
just
kind of
bypass that
a little bit.
signal jammer?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Well, he's probably pretty interconnected to the whole setup out there. But yeah, it's got to be one of those two things, because I was wondering the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But he did get a live call, so it has to be one of those two things.
I just feel like it seemed very confusing in the setup that they made. Like, we can't do live calls because the signals don't work, but Gertie's over here making live calls.
Yeah.
The 900 baby.
The 900
suck my asshole.
Artificial slut intelligence. I don't know.
I respect it.
Inside Lydia's ass.
Inside Lydia's ass.
Inside Lydia's artificial ass.
Artificially inside.
Inside Lydia's CPU.
You dirty dog, you. Tyson, what would you score this movie and would you recommend it?
This movie, probably because I really like Sam Rockwell, I'd probably give it a 7.5 out of 10. And I would recommend it, especially to people who like sci-fi movies. You know?
And to that point, if you're done speaking, and I'm not going to talk over you.
I am done speaking. You may speak.
I hate sci-fi movies, but this movie is fantastic because of Sam Rockwell. Because he is such a talented actor.
Yep.
Actor!
Acting.
Carly.
I wouldn't say it's like a sci-fi movie as much as it's like a outer space survival, like The Martian, because there's not a whole
That's a
lot of
good
like
movie.
scientific aspects to it. They have a setup, but then the movie's not about all the science fiction-y stuff.
If it's in space,
It's more like
sci-fi.
it's like the modern definition of sci-fi, where it's just something in space. That's sci-fi.
Yeah.
Has to do with space, sci-fi.
Yeah.
That's how I describe sci-fi. I was just recently corrected on that.
But
I'm a big dumb dummy.
it is a lot. I was watching it and was like, oh, this is kind of like The Martian.
Mm-hmm.
But the story was very gripping, and I liked it. I'm going to call it a 7 out of 10.
This came out like 7 years before The Martian.
So The Martian's like Moon.
Yeah, Martian's a fucking copycat. And
The
also a
Martian's-
great movie, too.
You should
Also
never
on
watch it
Mars.
again because it's
And
a
not on the
copycat.
moon.
I would like to know if you're going to recommend it or not.
I wouldn't like to know
I mean, you gave it a 7 out of 10, but I mean, that's not really an answer. Like,
it.
maybe you really liked it, but don't think other people should watch it, so you can feel superior.
I give this a 10 out of 10. Nobody fucking better watch it.
It's
Don't watch it. You won't like it. No. I would say if you like more of the trippy, what am I seeing type of movies, this will be one that you will enjoy, which is a lot of what I like.
or if you like watching one or two actors in very limited scenes carry an entire movie, which I really like.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the art of acting.
Really holds your attention, and you're very invested in the story.
I like the fart of acting.
Me too, brother. Me too. I'm gonna give this movie an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10.
You really liked it.
8 out of 10.
Yeah, 8 out of Compton. Yeah, I really like this movie a lot. Because generally my favorite part about a movie is the acting. That's the part that I really notice first. I'm not great at noticing score or effects. Like, generally that stuff doesn't catch my eye that much. Like, acting and or writing.
Just whether or not you're convinced.
Yeah. And Sam Rockwell is such a tremendous actor. He just absolutely carries this movie. And I mean, Kevin Spacey's also a very talented actor. And
Albeit a shit.
yeah, that was painful for me to say.
Yeah. I can see it on your face.
yeah.
You're like, God,
I don't want to compliment this guy. But even though the character of Gertie is a strange one to really
Comprehend. It's,
I like the way Kevin Spacey did it.
Yeah, you can't really get a hold on if Gertie is there to help you or if he's just there to do his job.
But yeah, I would definitely recommend watching this movie. I think it's a fantastic movie.
What makes you think that the second Sam that we are introduced to would, like, rebel enough to cut a hose and make him go outside to go fix that broken down thing? Because presumably a lot of the other ones have just gone with the sit and rest type of thing, right? What would bring him to be like, nah, I'm going fucking outside, fuck you guys?
I think seeing that conversation, because I think generally Gertie is a little bit more vigilant about making sure that Sam is taken care of and asleep when he makes that call.
Okay.
And I think that because he woke up asking for something, or
Like, where are my sunglasses? It's fucking bright.
Yeah.
I've been unconscious for the past 12 years.
yeah, he woke up asking for his sunglasses and Gertie wouldn't answer, so he went out to go find them himself. And I think, I mean, that's very clearly a live call when you've been told repeat, or when, because in his memory he wakes up knowing live calls are dead.
Right.
Yeah, not only all that, but that situation never happened before. So
So you think
Yeah.
this is the first Sam to die by accident?
yeah,
Oh,
I think
okay.
this is the first Sam that died or was
Presumed dead.
presumed dead. In like the entire history of the thing. Like I think they had it down so well that it ran smoothly up until that point.
Okay.
And then, of course, Sam has sort of a cavalier, independent spirit.
Yeah, because that's kind of what they talk about, him being a little bit more of a wild person before he took this job. And that's kind of why he took it, was to, like, really buckle down.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that would make sense.
Yeah.
So he was just like, you're making an actual phone call. I'm going to go check on that broken down driller thing. Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me, fellas.
Gertie, who is this?
Your mom.
How's your mother?
Hey, sheep, how's your mother?
Fun facts. We got some facts and they're fun.
Fun facts!
They're facts, and they're fun.
Yeah! This movie was actually written specifically for Sam Rockwell because director Duncan Jones. It's one of those D names.
Daxton.
Duncan, Daxton, Dick.
Donald.
Duncan? Sam Rockwell and Duncan Jones had expressed mutual interest in working together before, but could never come to terms on what part Sam should play in any of Duncan's films. So Duncan said, fuck it. I'm gonna write a movie with one fucking person in it. You're gonna be that guy. You're not gonna fucking argue with me. I don't think it went like that. But he wrote it specifically so he could work with Sam Rockwell. Which
Who wouldn't want to work with Sam Rockwell?
I want to work with Sam Rockwell.
Yeah.
And see if he, wants to come work where I work. Which is not on a lunar base.
That's true. Whittling that job list down.
Yeah. If you guys have been
Getting
keeping track
risky.
at home,
Getting risky.
you know at least 3 jobs that I definitely don't do. I did already touch on this. It appears that the clones are dying from radiation sickness. The symptom, like the symptoms are like verbatim, like exactly 1-to-1 with radiation sickness. Yeah. And then this was also on Entertainment Weekly's top 50 movies you've never seen of 2012.
20,012?
Probably 2012, if I had to guess.
Fucking 18,000 years in the future.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's probably 2012.
Or 2012.
No, definitely not that one. But yeah, that's what I've got for fun facts. So if you've been sticking around the channel, you know that I promised if we hit 100 subscribers, I would do a dog reveal. We would do a dog reveal.
It's not Tyson's dog.
No, Loki is our dog. So 100 subscribers gets you Loki. 500 subscribers gets you Chief. 10,000 subscribers gets you Ein. Or when I just decide that we've hit enough subscribers to show you Ein because she's old. And at the rate our channel's growing, she won't be around for that.
You've already met our intern.
Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go get Loki. I'm going to bring him in here. I'm going to show him off a little. Tell you a little bit about him. If you have any other Loki-related questions, you can go ahead and leave those in the comments below. We get like no comments to 5 comments per video. So we'll definitely see it and we'll definitely reply.
True.
That's the small channel difference. In case you guys are wondering. You should always watch small channels. Never watch big channels.
Hi, buddy.
Are you spinning the fidget spin?
This is Loki. He's 3, 4?
4-ish.
4-ish. He is a purebred cardigan corgi.
With a beautiful brindle color. It's a corner brindle.
I don't know what that means.
He is rotund.
He's a thick boy. He's a little overweight, but not too bad. But he's definitely dense.
As corgis are, if you know anything about the breed.
He's got a good build for jumping if he lost a couple of pounds. But since he's not going to jump, he should still probably lose that weight. He has no balls, so unfortunately you can't ask him to stud. I know that was your next question. We did not get him from a rescue, but we did get our other 2 dogs from rescues, so we're not terrible people. If you want to see those dogs, make sure to keep subscribing. Each milestone, we'll do a dog reveal.
500 subscribers shows a chief.
So this is Loki. He's going to get out of the studio, because this is a no dog room, and now I'm going to have to vacuum. But I think that about wraps us up here. As always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed or did not, remember to like and subscribe. Like and subscribe? Like the video. That's what the like is. Ring the bell icon if you want notifications for the videos that we post to this channel. Go ahead and follow our other channels. Well, probably only follow Jecll Gaming if you're interested in gaming content. Always got new stuff upcoming though, so
keep an eye out.
Keep an eye out, and we'll
like
always
us.
plug it on the channel if you're interested. Like I said, comment down below what movie you want us to watch. We don't have a next movie yet. We haven't decided what the next course of action will be.
If you have any questions not related to the channel, go ahead and comment.
Yeah, if you have any, like how to bake a pie, anything you want to ask, go ahead and ask in the comments. Any movies you want us to watch, go ahead and leave those in the comments as well.
Mm-hmm.
Comment what you think Daxon does for a living.
Yeah.
Do that. If you guess correctly, we still won't tell you.
You'll just have to figure it out once we whittle away what his job titles are not.
But
keep an eye out for those.
If you follow us on social media, you'll see our obscure pictures, and you can guess the movie for a chance to be the winner of our shout out. Is that everything? Oh, social medias. Also, we're on those. Jecll Studios on all the things. Our Jecll is obviously spelled a little bit differently. It's Jecll. Jecll Studios. That's Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Yeah. I think that's it. I think we're done.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. And as always, searching for long-range comms.